look at that, miles up. Oh, it's nearly taken someone out in the stands. That was a flat six right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, happy for the members, and it went like a rocket. Well, we get to 24.
In today's volume of CRIQAZI Diaries, I'll be sharing my thoughts on Pakistan's upcoming 5-match T20I series versus the West Indies. मैं बात करूंगा कि मेरी क्या expectations है टीम से, क्या हमारे chances हैं, और end में I'll give you my prediction for the series as well, and we're going to take some fan predictions as well today. So, let's go. अच्छा जी, सबसे पहले तो ताज़ा तरीन खबर, breaking news. The second ODI that was to be played between Australia and West Indies today has been postponed, and that's because one of the squad members, non-playing squad members from West Indies, has tested positive for COVID. Now both teams are self-isolating now in their hotel rooms, and there will be another PCR test, और फिर retesting के बाद पता चलेगा कि क्या बनना है सीरीज का, postpone होती है, cancel होती है, क्या होता है. So let's hope this doesn't impact Pakistan's upcoming series, जो less than a week में start होने वाली है West Indies के साथ, क्योंकि देखो कहीं फिर से पोस्टपोन ना हो जाए या कहीं फिर से पाकिस्तान किसी बी टीम को ना खेल रही हो. We've already played South Africa's B team in the T20 series earlier this year due to the IPL, and then we played England's B team in the ODI series just a bit earlier because of COVID. So I really hope that things go smoothly. There's not a lot of impact. They're able to resolve things. जहां तक रही पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम की बात, तो yes, they've had an extremely disappointing and unsuccessful tour of England. They only managed to win 1 game out of 6, and even though they looked out of sorts in the start, बाद में आकर थोड़ा momentum पकड़ लिया था. They started to compete, and you know the performance that they've had, this is not a fair reflection on the talent that this team possesses. This is a talented team, and you know the results, I don't think they fairly reflect how good this team is. So I do have faith that Pakistan will bounce back. They are hurting, of course, so they'll definitely want to prove themselves to the cricketing world and to their fans. मगर मेरे ख्याल से they have to be a bit brave and experiment a bit in this series, क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल से जो aim होना चाहिए ना पाकिस्तान की मैनेजमेंट का इस सीरीज में is to nail down your playing 11 for the T20 World Cup that's upcoming later in the year. ये पाकिस्तान ने पहले भी गलती की हुई है. Back in 2019 when the 50 over World Cup was upcoming, तब हमारी 2 5-match सीरीज थी ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ और इंग्लैंड के खिलाफ. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के खिलाफ they sent completely reserve squad, कोई भी बहुत ही कम first team members गए थे squad में, and they lost 5-0. And then England के खिलाफ, even though they competed in that series, they lost 5-0, and they were nowhere close to knowing what their best playing 11 is. वो तो कहीं World Cup के बीच में जाकर इनको समझ आई थी कि ये हमारी best playing 11 है, और तब तक it was too late, and Pakistan eventually lost out on a semi-final spot due to net run rate. I'm worried about the fact that Pakistan's management might be too hesitant to make too many changes and experiment because they're under a lot of pressure. 2 लगातार सीरीज हारे हैं इंग्लैंड के खिलाफ, तो प्रेशर तो काफी बढ़ गया है और उनको होगा कि थोड़ा सेफ्टी फर्स्ट टाइप अप्रोच के साथ जाते हैं. बट ऑनेस्टली दे हैव टू बी ब्रेव ओवर हियर. दे हैव टू एक्सपेरिमेंट. इट्स इंपेरेटिव दैट वी नेल डाउन आवर फर्स्ट प्लेइंग 11 फॉर द T20 वर्ल्ड कप. लाइक 10 स्पॉट्स तो आपके पक्के हो जाने चाहिए. एक आधा स्पॉट, यस, इट्स ऑलवेज अप फॉर डिबेट, मगर 10 स्पॉट्स आपके पक्के हो जाने चाहिए. एंड यू हैव टू बी ब्रेव इन सिलेक्शन and on the pitch because you're up against an extremely sturdy opposition in the West Indies. They're the defending T20 world champions. They've got a bunch of experienced world-class T20 players and a lot of hard hitters as well. There is no doubt in the fact that Pakistan are up against one of the best T20 teams in the world who have a great mix of youth and experience. जहाँ तक आप veterans की बात करते हो, तो there's some absolute T20 legends in this team in Chris Gayle, Kieran Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, Andre Russell. Then we've got Lendl Simmons and even the Spice Man Andre Fletcher. और फिर youth भी है. You've got some extremely powerful players in Evan Lewis. You've got Shimron Hetmyer. You've got Nicholas Pooran. So ये team जो है ना, it's very batting heavy, and they just go berserk from the word go, quite like England. The trump card, however, that I feel West Indies have in this particular series is leg spinner Hayden Walsh. The 29-year-old is new to international cricket, but he's made an immediate mark. अभी जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया के खिलाफ सीरीज जीती है वेस्ट इंडीज 4-1, he was the man of the series and he spun a web around the Australian batsman. And given पाकिस्तान के प्लेयर्स को कितनी मुश्किल हुई है इंग्लैंड के स्पिनर्स के खिलाफ अभी पिछली सीरीज में, he is the player to really look out for, and Pakistan need to play him well if they want to stand a chance in this series. They may be a great T20 side, but it's not like West Indies does not have any chinks in their armor. I think their fast bowling stocks are a bit depleted. वो वाली बात नहीं रही जो किसी ज़माने में वेस्ट इंडीज़ के फास्ट बॉलर्स होते थे. They were known for it. अब वो वाला चक्कर तो नहीं रहा. You've got Sheldon Cottrell and a few guys here and there. The only one that really stands out to me is the youngster Obed McCoy. He's bowled some good spells versus Australia and South Africa, so he's one to look out for. But I really feel that West Indies fast bowling is an area where Pakistan can capitalize on, and that's where the series could be potentially won. If we talk about the pitches in the West Indies, they tend to be a bit on the slow side, and I think that really plays into Pakistan's hands because A, Pakistan have a really good spin attack, and B, the World Cup is coming up in the UAE, another venue known for its slow and turning pitches. So Pakistan could really get some good practice over here against top quality opposition in a World Cup year. तो इस इंफॉर्मेशन को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आई वुड रियली लाइक टू सी ऑल 4 ऑफ पाकिस्तान स्पिनर्स शादाब खान, इमाद वसीम, मोहम्मद नवाज एंड उस्मान कादिर फीचर इन दिस सीरीज. अब हर मैच तो सारे नहीं खेल सकेंगे, बट आई वुड रियली लाइक बाबर टू परसिस्ट विद दैट 2 leg spinner approach. I want to see both शादाब and उस्मान कादिर play. Then you can play one of नवाज और इमाद, और फिर मैं तो चाहता हूं कि हफीज से भी ओवर कराए बाबर, और हफीज can be key in the UAE and he bowled really well against England in the last T20I. So I really want to see all of these spinners perform in the West Indies and at least be given a fair shot to perform, you know. One last thing, since the tracks will favor spin bowling and Pakistan's middle order has proven to be very fragile, I would like to see Sarfaraz Ahmed feature in a few of the games. You can utilize him in the middle order. He's a busy batsman. He's a really good player of spin. तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि सरफराज को भी थोड़ा game time मिले series में. बाकी I expect an exhilarating series. Both teams are very unpredictable and Pakistan has had a good record versus the West Indies of late. But let's see what happens. My prediction is 3-2 Pakistan. Or chalo, let's go and check out some of our fans' predictions as well.
Yeah, my prediction is whitewash West Indies G3 sub matches. You know, Evan Lewis, Chris Gayle, Nicholas Pooran, Andre Russell, Kieran Pollard, they're all having turns.
I think Pakistan will win the series against West Indies 3-2. I think they'll tinker a bit in some of the games to try to get a squad ready for the World Cup, to try to see who should be on that flight and who shouldn't. And I think it'll cost them in a few of the games. But overall, I think the squad has enough quality to come out on top in the 5-game series. So I think Pakistan will win 3-2.
So my prediction for the upcoming T20 series between West Indies and Pakistan is that Pakistan will win 3-2. West Indies is a very strong side and they won the World Cup in 2016. However, when we toured them in 2017, we beat them quite comprehensively in all formats, and in T20 we won 3-1. I only think we've gotten stronger since then, and we have been playing for quite a few months, so I think we're quite ready and prepared.
I think Pakistan is going to win the series 3-2. The reason why I'm favoring Pakistan is because I saw some fight in the last T20 we had against England. So I'll give them this much. Okay, they'll bounce back strong, and we have an abundance of spinners, and if I think we play the right combinations, we can win the series.
Pakistan to win the series 4-1. Player to watch, Sohaib Maqsood.
My prediction for Pakistan versus West Indies is going to be 4-1 in favor of West Indies. I know it's a very harsh prediction coming from a Pakistan cricket fan, लेकिन West Indies being defending champions और जिस फॉर्म में इस वक्त वो लोग हैं और जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का हाल उन्होंने किया है, I clearly consider them as favorites, and I'm just not happy with Pakistan's management. I don't think Pakistan इस टीम के साथ वर्ल्ड कप में जा सकता है. I need to see a change in the management.
After the crushing and heartbreaking defeat from England's B team, I have lost all my faith in Pakistani boys. How do you predict the most unpredictable side in the world? West Indies के tour में with their strong batting lineup, I see them smashing us around the park. But good luck to Pakistani boys.
So West Indies is high in confidence after their series win against Australia. Pakistan's low in confidence after their series loss to England. I think West Indies edges this series 3-2.
Between Pakistan and West Indies, who's going to win? Given the recent performance of Pakistan against England, I don't want to say, I don't want to be wrong, but I'll always say Pakistan because that's my team.
Okay folks, that's a wrap for volume 10. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be notified about my latest videos. Of course, I would love to hear your predictions as well, so let me know in the comments section below on YouTube. And of course, if you have any questions which you would like to have addressed in future episodes, tweet them at DefMango using the hashtag AskCriqAZI. That's all for today folks. Kazi off the mic.
Have a look at that, miles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out of the stands. That was a flat 6 right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket.